Good morning, folks. So, first job of the day here. We're at the client's place now, so we got a couple trees just on the side of the house here. So, I'm at the back here now. So, yeah, we're looking at aspen here, and then we got a balsam poplar there. So, obviously, yeah, we got the house here. So, the big aspen there, obviously, got a big canopy in it and that, but standing underneath the stem looks pretty straight. So it's got a little more limbs out on the house side, so it's got to be mindful of that. We're pretty good with wind. They're calling for about 10k winds. It's just a light breeze right now, so it's good falling conditions right now. So that one we can drop that with wedges for sure. That'll be no problem with wedges there. This one's got a little bit of decay down at the base. I see that, but most of its limbs are kind of leaning out at the house right here. So, and the trunk of it itself is leaning at the house there a bit. So, because of that and a little bit of decay in it, I'm gonna get a rope in that one. And these trees are I'm just cutting them. So nice, simple job, right? Like they got their bush a lot over here, so I'm just following these trees right over into there. So anyway, let's go get our saw ready and get cutting. Just to interject here, folks, obviously I'm getting into the back cut of this tree here. So through this back cut, as you'll notice, I obviously always take my time. It's not a rush. I never rush any tree that I work on. I don't care really ultimately how long the tree takes. I set a price, and I obviously factor in what I think is going to happen with the tree and gauge it on that. But sometimes you got to go a little extra, and you can't be too over precautious, especially in situations where you are working around significant structures. Obviously this tree, it's a large tree, and the house is about 15 feet from it, and I don't take chances with really any trees, but in particular when you're getting into trees like this, like again, it's a process. You enjoy it. You take your time, you think it through, you don't rush it. You just, if you screw up one tree like this, you can kiss your business goodbye. It's simple as that. your reputation is shot, you're done. You may as well move on to something else because you are done in the industry. You drop a tree on a house. So there's no sense in rushing it, whether it's for a video or because maybe you did a lowball price and you think you got to hurry up through the job kind of thing. It's just not worth it. I can't stress that enough. Just take your time, be patient, and just go through the motions. Go step by step, breathe, be calm, and enjoy it. Really, that's why you do this work. You enjoy it, you love it, you take it all in. So yeah, it's certainly not a race. So just to put that in there. How are you? Kind of hard to tell, but she certainly opened up, bulldozed a big path through here. There's a big girl with these aspens, these big old aspens. They get really big, kind of wide spreading canopies. They got like no branches going up them until the last sort of 20, 25 feet of the tree, and then it's just big outreaching limbs. So anyway, she bulldozed a pretty good path there. So yeah, so we're just getting the rope in this one here. Bug spray. If you live around here, I just started using it recently. A long time. I was like, I don't need that. It doesn't work or whatever. But you know what? When the bugs are so freaking horrendous, I've started using it recently, and you know what? It does make a bit of a difference. So I use it now. Like, the bugs are so bad, you don't even care like what the hell is in this stuff, like, because they're just getting eaten alive. So you kind of try anything really. So show you a little I've been doing this for a while. I don't know, I don't see anyone else doing it, so I thought I'd maybe mention it. Like, obviously throwing a line into the tree and that, and like anyone that knows, you get the butt end tends to get kind of snagged up depending on the diameter of the rope and that, and the type of bark, the size of crotch, whatever kind of tree you're going through. Some trees are easier than others and whatever, but anyway, electrical tape works really awesome. So I've been doing that for a while now, and this is a bigger diameter rope, and you don't get snagged up. I mean, occasionally if it's a bigger, like a fatter rope, you still get maybe a little bit of a nose dive a little bit into a really tight crotch or whatever, but for the most part it makes pretty smooth sailing. So yeah, just do your wrap with your string and then electrical tape over and narrow it off to the front, and works good. Okay, so we got our line in the tree. Got our come along set up here. The more power puller. I'll give you a little rundown of this thing after we get this tree down. But this thing works awesome. Super simple to use, and it's got a lot of pull. Anchored off. Like a lot of times, I'll use my truck when I can. You know, if the tree is within the vicinity of the truck and you can get that constant pull there, you know, that's good. But there's a lot of times where, well, you can't get your truck there or whatever. So do a lot of stuff like pulling trees into the bush or wherever. So that's where this thing really comes in handy. And it's gotta have way more pull than like one of those like the Mazdam rope puller or whatever. Like I've never used one of those. They look like they work, but they look pretty flimsy and kind of cheap too, right? Like this thing is heavy duty. Like it's very well made, cast body in that. Just on a straight line here, it's got 3 tons of pull. It comes with a little pulley as well, so you can sort of like turn it into like 2-to-1 advantage, and then you're going to double that 6 tons of pull. And well, I guess if you use more pulleys than that, you could gain even more advantage if you needed it for a monster tree. But like I pretty much only, even on big trees, like running the one line is sufficient to get it over. So we're just gonna tension up our line here and get ready to cut. My rope is kind of sort of got stuck around a few branches, so it's not flush up against the tree. Ideally, obviously, you want that, right? But sometimes without climbing up into a tree, you can't. I just gotta try to avoid there, so I can see the tree. She's tensioned up, and I can see the tree is engaged. So I'll go take a look, make sure everything looks good here, and we'll get cutting here. So cleared out a path, right? You don't want your line snagging, you know, on tree branches and whatever, right? So I trimmed back a little of these. So we got a nice clear line up into our tree. It's right up in there, the line there. So make sure everything looks good. So obviously we're tied off here. See, that's what I'm talking about here. When you get your line stuck out around some branches, it's not ideal. I'm not too worried about that. I've got pretty good bite up in the crotch there. It's not a huge tree. And then, you know what, I'll, as I'm going, once I'm cut up, I'll have a wedge there too. So if it did sort of slip out, it's not going to sit all the way back and, you know, maybe break off the stump or whatever, right? So to cut it up, I'll have some wedges sitting there. When it's cut up, ready to go, I'll go back down to our puller right down in there and yank her over. Okay, so we're cut up there. So, you know, I got still a decent hinge on it. I left that. I'm gonna do a few pulls on it and straighten it up. If it's still pretty stiff, I'll come back and nip a little bit more. Usually I would do back cut first on something leaning back, and it sort of started into my cut and kind of was like, oh yeah. I started in the face there, and I was like, oh yeah. I was gonna back cut this first, but anyway, whatever. Finish off the face. Did the back. Like I said, left the hinge a little bit beefier. Have some wedges sitting there. So I thought that was a good idea too, because of the rope isn't sitting tight against the tree like you would like. So it's best to have a little more hinge there. And I'll do a few pulls on this and get that tree once it's standing up right there, whatever. Like it's probably just gonna pull right over. But if it is still a little stiff, once I have more advantage on the tree, then I'll go over and just nip a little bit more out, and it'll just top right over. So. A little high too. Usually I would set that up lower so you're cranking more down here. She's coming here really. I'll just pull her over. Alright, there goes all the tension there. So. Well, that's it for that job there. Folks, at this point of the video, that's the end of the job there. So I had ended with a little clip there with the Mazda, or the more power puller. I did a separate video on that, so I'm just cutting that out. So I'm just kind of ending it with this. So anyway, if you check this video out and it helped you, that's what I hope, because that's what YouTube is about. For a lot of people, for me, I know it is. It's a huge thing. I've been on here for many years, as a creator, with a couple different channels or whatever, and also just as a participator and a learner and all that, right? Checking out the channels, learning how much stuff I've learned on here, more than I've ever learned anywhere else in life, through school or whatever, right? It's just everyone that knows that's on here and comes to learn stuff on here. It's a total asset to be able to just come on here and watch a video and all of a sudden be able to do something that you're looking to do. So anyway, till next time.